Hello and welcome to Dave's Delightful Dishes. As always, I'm Dave, and it's such a delight to have you here visiting me today in my kitchen. And today, we're going to be talking about these guys. Now, lots of people don't like Brussels sprouts. I've gotten a couple of specific requests to do something with them, so let's check it out. So this challenge comes to me today from my friend MK, who lives out in Western Maryland. She saw pictures of my Thanksgiving dinner where I served this type of Brussels sprouts and asked if I could tell her how to make it. And well, I have a TV show where I do cooking stuff, so yes I can. So what we're going to do is we're going to roast these Brussels sprouts with sweet potatoes. And it's really easy. There's not a lot of ingredients, and here those are. And other than the time that it takes for roasting, there's almost no work at all. Just a little bit of chopping, and that's about it. So we need to start out with a roasting pan. And then I have to start bringing over the ingredients. Now, these big Brussels sprouts, I don't prefer. I prefer the smaller ones. But if you have big ones like this, what I like to do, the secret for me, is to cut the stem way back. So I have cut back and halved all of these Brussels sprouts. And I'm going to lay them out on this tray. Now, this is a small tray because this is just for a portion for two people. You can go to larger trays and expand this recipe as much as you need to. And I always want to have the cut side up when I'm laying these out. And if there's a couple of loose leaves, don't worry about it. They're just going to get roasted pretty heavily. And I've preset my oven to 425 degrees. And now I have some sweet potatoes. In this case, I have both yellow and white sweet potatoes because my local farm down the street, which grew all of this, they have both yellow and white, orange and white. And I like them both. They're delicious, and it's kind of cool having a color difference. Now, I've peeled these, and I've cut them into little cubes. So I'm going to get a nice selection of these guys out as well. And you can throw as much or as little as you want onto here. And what's nice about this is I can cube up a bunch of this and then throw it in the fridge, and I'll have more ingredients ready to go later in the week. So it's kind of like meal prepping. Maybe a couple more Brussels sprouts here, and then we get to the fun part. First thing you got to do is I'm going to give a drizzle of olive oil over everything. If you've got a mister, that works really well too. And I always kind of pre-spray with a mister the bottom of the cooking sheet. Now I need to take some thyme. And this is one of those things you just kind of feel. I'm not going to give you an exact amount. You just want to get good coverage. I want to see. So it just looks like it's been dusted. That's thyme. Rosemary, and garlic powder. It's on a plate this size is probably about a teaspoon of each, give or take. But realistically, you're just eyeballing this, looking for it to be evenly coated over. Now I've got black pepper, fresh cracked. Perfect. And then a heavy pinch of salt. And again, I'm just looking for even coverage over the whole plate. Now I'm going to give it one more drizzle. Kind of go for another angle, so I'm just trying to get into the leaves more than anything else. I'm trying to get into the leaves of these Brussels sprouts. Perfect. So now, just like this, that's step one. This is going to go into the oven for about 30 minutes. You got to keep an eye on it. At around 30 minutes, start looking. If everything looks like it's softened up and it's starting to roast, that's great. If anything starts looking black, pull it out. So, this is going in the oven. I'll see you back once it's out for the next step. Okay, so it was exactly 30 minutes, and these are out of the oven. And as you can see, they are browned, and the edges of the leaves have started to wilt and turn black, but the insides of them are perfect. So that's what we're looking for here. So I'm going to take a serving platter. We're just going to get all this up onto the platter. And, you know, thinking back on this after I'm almost done, I could have just used my mitts and poured this onto the platter. But, you know, it's nice to get tools involved as well. And we got a nice little bit of separation. There's stuff, it's evenly distributed. Let me get this out of the way. And now for our final stuff. I'm going to take some chopped bacon. I fried the bacon earlier. We've all seen bacon fried. This happens to be beef bacon, but you can use pork bacon or turkey bacon, whatever bacon you got. Or you can put sausage in too, but I wouldn't do it as links. I would do it as crumbles at that point. So I'm going to spread that bacon around and some candied walnuts that have been crushed. How do you crush them, I say? Well, this is how I did it. Nothing like not a little bit of frustration at the day while you're prepping some dinner. So I'm getting these candied walnuts around. And finally, the secret ingredient, Vermont maple syrup. And I'm just going to give that a coating. This is about a 1/4 cup total, but you can adjust it depending on how sweet or not sweet you want it to be. I find that it makes everything just kind of blend together, and it goes well with that bitterness of the Brussels sprout because it kind of complements it, cancels it out a little bit, so it's not, so it really brings out good flavors. But that is a side dish, and you know what? It's pretty delightful. So NK, you can try this at home. Let me know how it goes, and all the rest of you, please let me know if this is something you like, and let me know what you'd like to see next. You can check me out on my Facebook page for Dave's Delightful Dishes, which will be linked in the description, as well as my Instagram page. And you can check out my Spreadshirt app in case you'd like to have some of this wonderful merch that I have. But until I see you next, I'll catch you at the next recipe.